Okay, so proofs went away for a couple days. Proofs are coming back. We're going to start with parallel lines and writing conditional statements. So, example 1, justify these statements based off of this picture. So we know AB is parallel to CD. Okay, so I'm going to put an arrow on each one to signify parallel. And we want to say y is 1 congruent to 3. Alright, so when we look at 1 and 3, what type of angle pair are they? They're on the same side of this transversal, and they're on the same top right corner of the parallel lines. So they're actually corresponding angles. So we're going to write it as a conditional statement. If parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. I'm going to abbreviate as much as possible because it's just a pain to write a full sentence. 2 and 3 are supplementary. Why? Well, they're in between the parallel lines, and they're on the same side, so they're same side interior. We know that they're parallel, so that's why I'm saying if parallel. This is what's given to you, parallel lines. If parallel, then same side interior angles are supplementary. Since they're on the same side and they're on the interior, they're supplementary. So we have to write it as that conditional statement. Okay, we know that these two lines here and here are parallel. And we want to justify each of the following. We want to justify why are 1 and 4 congruent. 1 and 4 are on the same transversal. It doesn't quite look like it. It's kind of hard to tell in this picture. But they are on the same transversal right there. They're on that transversal, so they're in between the two parallel lines. Let me extend these just a little bit. They're in between, and they're on opposite sides, so they're actually alternate interior. So if parallel, let me switch back. If parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Number 2, angles 2 and 3. Well, those are vertical. All vertical angles are congruent. That's how we're going to write it. Angle B and angle D. So if you look at angle B and angle D, they're actually, let's move that out of the way, B and D are on the same transversal. They're on a transversal right here. So angle B, right in here, and angle D are in between, and they're on the same transversal, so they're alternate interior angles. If parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Let's start proofs. So, first step, always your given. And so I hope you're following along as I'm doing this, that you have the picture. If you got to pause it to draw the picture first, but we need to be practicing these as I do them, not just so we're watching. Angle 1 congruent to angle 2 is what I want to prove. This is only going to be a two-step proof. Why are those two congruent? They're in the same spot, top left corner, top left corner. So they're congruent because if parallel, because that's up here, given, then conclusion. If parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. So I'm essentially doing what I did on this previous step, but now I'm just writing it in proof form. We're going to add to these proofs. They're going to start getting to 4, 5, 6, 7 steps long. So it's good to start with the easy ones. Next one, K is parallel to L. Well, that's supposed to be a lowercase l. I'm just going to do capital just because it'll be a little easier on here. Step 2. Supplementary to angle 4y. They're both on the left side of the transversal, so they're same side angles, and they're outside of the two parallel lines. So if parallel, same side exterior angles are supplementary. So essentially you're just doing what we did on the previous video, finding what type of angles they are, but now you're just writing it as a conditional statement. Alright, so let's take a look at this problem. Pause it for a minute, draw the picture, try figuring out how can I find the measure of angle 1. Okay? I want you to brainstorm ideas, try to come up with it on your own, and then we'll see what we got. Alright, so to make this a little easier, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a line, and I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to split angle 1 in half. I'm going to call these x and y. Now take a look at where x is. X is on a parallel line with a transversal up here. 62 and x are alternate interior angles, which means x is 62 degrees. Look at where y is. It's on the right side of the transversal, so is 144. So they're same side angles, and they're both on the inside. Those are same side interior angles, which means y plus 144 equals 180. So that means y is 180 minus 144, or 36. Since angle 1 is the combination of x and y, that means angle 1 is 62 plus 36. So angle 1 equals 98. This problem needs to be done by drawing in that parallel line. Nobody said you can't draw in a third parallel line. It's okay to break it into steps and then add them together. Here's another one for you to try on your own. Now that you have it, now that you've seen one done, try this one again. We should be able to get this one. If not, we need to come and ask some questions. I'm going to draw my line down the middle. Now if you don't have a picture drawn yet, make sure you draw one. Now I know that the 50 and x are corresponding angles because they're in the top right corner, so that's 50 degrees right there. Down here, I know that they're on the same side and they're interior. Same side interior angles are supplementary, so that's 80. 50 plus 80 gets me angle 1. That's 130 degrees.